Manchester City can win the treble, they can win the league 3 times back-to-back, they might even be the top picks for this year's Premier League. But there's just one thing they can't seem to nail. Can you guess it? It's winning at Anfield. Yes, the citizens have only snagged a single win in their last 21 trips to Anfield, with the Reds gunning for a historic quadruple and the energy from the fans and players emotionally charged after Klopp's mid-season goodbye news. It was pretty clear Anfield wasn't going to be a walk in the park for Manchester City. That's exactly what went down. Liverpool stepped up big time, especially in the second half, showing off some of their performances in possession. Yes, Liverpool was so good that Guardiola and his crew had to rely on a VAR decision just to leave the game with a point. Sounds like we're picking sides, right? Well, smash that like button and subscribe button, and let's get into our game analysis. Maybe by the end, we'll have swayed your opinion. The much-anticipated match wrapped up with a draw, a result that surely put a smile on the face of Arsenal fans. This tie left the Gunners at the top of the table, levelling them at 64 points with Liverpool, who are nudged into second place due to goal difference, and just a whisker ahead of Manchester City by a single point. So let us get into the lineups first. Kelleher held on to his spot between the sticks after yet another standout performance in the Europa League. But Liverpool's squad was hit with the familiar blow of an injury, this time to Ibrahima Konate, forcing Jurgen Klopp to lean on 21-year-old Jarell Quansah to partner with Virgil van Dijk in central defence. In a tactical shuffle, Klopp opted for Joe Gomez at left-back instead of Andy Robertson, placing Conor Bradley on the right flank. The midfield saw Wataru Endo, Alexis Mac Allister and Dominic Szoboszlai join forces, while Harvey Elliott, Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez led the attack. Meanwhile, Pep Guardiola rolled out his strongest lineup, even without Jack Grealish, keeping Ruben Diaz as a spectator seemed more like a strategic decision than anything else. Despite the buzzing atmosphere at Anfield, it was the citizens who took control in the early stages. They expertly navigated Liverpool's aggressive 5-man press by spreading the ball wide. Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden kept swapping roles on the right, confusing Liverpool's midfielders and leaving Wataru Endo stranded without support. You could really see Szoboszlai lagging behind Kevin De Bruyne, giving the Belgian just enough room to turn and pick out Phil Foden. Then the ball got switched over to Rodri, who spotted De Bruyne making a break down the right flank. While this move didn't lead to a goal, thanks to Virgil van Dijk cutting off Foden's attempt, a similar sequence set up Julian Alvarez for the game's first real chance to score. This was yet another moment where Wataru Endo found himself stuck in no man's land, all thanks to the midfield's disorganised press. Alexis Mac Allister ended up caught out, letting City slide through with a direct pass to Erling Haaland. But none of these efforts put City ahead, with Kelleher pulling off top-notch saves against both Julian Alvarez and Kevin De Bruyne within the opening minutes. As time ticked on, Liverpool began to find their rhythm. A subtle yet crucial adjustment was Van Dijk and Quansah swapping position about 10 minutes in, broadening the passing lanes for Van Dijk. This tweak paid off when Van Dijk launched a long ball to Conor Bradley, setting up a golden opportunity that Darwin Núñez just missed connecting with after Bradley's shot or cross. Indeed, the pair of Conor Bradley, keeping the width, and Harvey Elliott, who frequently drifted into the right half space, proved to be a real headache for City. But at the 22nd minute mark, Anfield fell silent. A cleverly executed corner routine saw Kevin De Bruyne and John Stones team up to notch the opener. But despite this setback, Liverpool didn't let it get to them. The Reds continued to search for opportunities with direct play, and the Bradley-Elliott duo nearly made magic happen again around the 30th minute. With Elliott drawing attention in the right half space, Stones and Ake were lured away, leaving space for Bradley to receive a pass from Joe Gomez. Elliott, upon getting the ball, didn't hesitate to use his creativity, delivering a cross that found Dominic Szoboszlai, who met it with a header right from the penalty spot. The back and forth threats kept coming for the rest of the first half. Erling Haaland had a straight shot at Kelleher after a one-on-one challenge with Van Dijk. Luis Diaz took a crack from outside the box that nearly surprised Ederson, and Kyle Walker's overpowered cross intended for De Bruyne signalled the end of the first half. Just 90 seconds into the second half, Darwin Núñez pounced on a weak back pass from Nathan Ake to Ederson, nicking the ball and earning the Reds a penalty. Alexis Mac Allister stepped up and coolly slotted it home, levelling the score. To make matters worse for Manchester City, Ederson couldn't continue playing a few minutes later due to the collision with the Uruguayan forward. The second half unfolded with a twist. Each team seemed to switch to the other typical strategies. City, known for their stellar 91.15% success rate in build-ups, found themselves hampered by Liverpool's press, which had sharpened its timing compared to the first half. In one instance, McAllister put pressure on Akinji, forcing him to clear the ball hastily. With Joe Gomez pushing into the midfield, Liverpool managed to force a crucial turnover. This was mainly down to Liverpool's pressing being more intense and organised than the first period. City players who needed to stand on the ball and play slow and precise were rushed by the Reds' wave of press. Even on the rare occasion City did manage to get past Liverpool's press after the break, their efforts in the final third were lacking. They managed only 5 successful deep completions, a season low across all competitions. This drop in delivery quality was partly because Liverpool adopted a 4-2-4 mid-block strategy, disrupting City's usual flow in attack. Virgil van Dijk kept playing to his usual high standards, finishing the game with 97% passing accuracy and winning 4 out of 5 tackles. Despite not winning the ball during that 1v1 with Haaland, he was the reason why the Norwegians scuffed his shot by delaying the attack and forcing him wide. Jarell Quansah also showcased his composure and confidence and did not look out of place in a game of this magnitude. Winning 100% of his aerial duels, him and Van Dijk were able to contain Haaland, limiting his shots to just a single one. In fact, it was Liverpool who took charge of the ball, with McAllister and Endo forming a formidable duo in the double pivot. They were instrumental in circulating the ball and curtailing Manchester City's chances for quick transitions. Together they won 14 out of 21 duels, with Endo ending the match boasting a 95% pass completion rate, while McAllister wasn't far behind with 81%. This double pivot successfully nullified Kevin De Bruyne. The Belgian finished the game with 64% passing accuracy, 25% ground duels won, and 10 times possession lost. Meanwhile, Klopp introduced his ace, Mohamed Salah, who immediately made an impact by setting up Luis Diaz for a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, though Diaz couldn't find the back of the net. With the Egyptian king on the pitch, Liverpool had an outlet on their right-hand side. Rodri's inability to track the runs of both Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz also proved to be an issue for Manchester City, as the Reds kept threatening them with every break. The home team didn't let up, persistently seeking the go-ahead goal. Diaz squandered another opportunity, Stefan Ortega dwarfed Núñez at close quarters, and on the other side, a deflection of Foden nearly found its way in but for a woodworks intervention. 70 minutes in, Guardiola made strategic substitutions, pulling De Bruyne and Alvarez for Jeremy Doku and Mateo Kovacic. Doku's direct play and Kovacic's ball retention skills, along with City reverting to their customary man-to-man press, briefly saw the visitors regain control. The last 10 minutes were frantic. Doku struck the post on one end, and Cody Gakpo mirrored the effort on the other, only for the play to be ruled off with offside. The match statistics highlighted a curious twist. Liverpool had more of the ball with 52.9% possession, a greater field tilt at 54.4%, and a higher build-up completion rate of 85.4%. Conversely, Manchester City boasted greater pass directness, averaging 33.4 metres, and longer goal kicks at 38.4 metres. So do you think the two teams swapped their philosophies for this clash? But wait a minute. Didn't we mention VAR stepping in to save Pep and his team, snagging them a point from the jaws of defeat? Indeed, a Liverpool versus Manchester City showdown wouldn't be complete without its fair share of VAR controversy, right? In the final moments, Jeremy Doku's high challenge on Alexis McAllister in the box caught everyone's breath. The replays clearly showed McAllister getting to the ball first, only to be clipped by the Belgian. Yet after a VAR review, Martin Tyler let play continue and the match ended in a draw. Folks, in the words of Mourinho, if I speak, I'm in big trouble. So we'll hand it over to you. Was that a missed penalty call for the Reds? Were Liverpool quote-unquote robbed? And more importantly, what's your take on Liverpool's showing? Did our analysis hit the mark? Dive into the comments with your thoughts and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe button for more Liverpool deep dives. Thank you and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.